We're taught in school right, wrong, good, bad. We're taught to do the right thing. We're taught to think about community, think about your brother, think about your neighbor. We're taught all these things so that we can become compliant to the people who are controlling us. Because when you look at the people who control us, they don't have any regard whatsoever for right or wrong. They don't have any regard whatsoever for humanity, for compassion, for empathy, for any of that. The people that are controlling us don't care about us. They don't care one bit about what happens to us. They only care about themselves and how they're going to get over on you. And I'm going to illustrate a little bit of this idea with a man that shot a sheriff's deputy. His name's Patrick McDowell. He's a former Marine. And he was pulled over and by some guy named Josh Moyers. And he was pulled over and shot. So he was pulled over and he shot a sheriff's deputy. Now, the first thing that you have to understand when you're getting pulled over, you're not getting pulled over for the ticket. You're not getting pulled over for failing to use your signal. You're not getting pulled over for failure to stop at a stop sign. You're not getting pulled over for a brake light being out. That's not what you're getting pulled over for. You're getting pulled over so they can find a warrant. You're getting pulled over so you can get pulled into the system. You're getting pulled over so they can find a gun. You're getting pulled over so they can find that you're drunk. You're getting pulled over so they can find something to bring you into the system. And if you're drunk or you're a DUI, this is $10,000 plus these things usually cost. They could cost your license. They can cost 3 years probation. They can cost all kinds of stuff. If you have a firearm, they can arrest you for that if it's illegal and get you caught in the system. If you have any kind of money or something in your person, on your person, they can confiscate it. They can, there's all kinds of things they can do, but they don't want to just write you a ticket for failure to signal. They don't. That's not what they're pulling you over for. So beware. If a cop is pulling you over, he's not pulling you over for what he's saying he's pulling you over for. That's why it's best to not talk to a cop at all. Don't even talk to him because he's going to write you a ticket. If he doesn't find something that's going to pay him off, he's probably going to write you a ticket anyway. And when he does, you're going to have to pay it. Okay? These people are not here for you. Okay? So this guy got pulled over, probably for doing something, brake light out, something dumb. The cop wanted to find more. He's not there to write you a ticket for not having a brake light. He's not there to write you a ticket for a late registration. He's not there to write you a ticket for failure to yield. He's there to pull you over to find something more. Well, in this particular case, he found a guy with a gun who shot him. This guy shot him. This guy shot and killed a sheriff's deputy. Okay. So he's a bad guy. He, according to the local sheriff, whose sheriff's deputy it was that got killed, this guy's a horrible human being right here. But the sheriff's deputy, the sheriff himself says, if this guy comes into your home and you have a gun, blow him out the door because he's like a rabid animal. This is what I talked about when I said no empathy, no compassion, zero compassion. Zero empathy. He calls the guy a wild animal and says, go ahead and kill him. Kill this guy. So the wild animal who killed somebody now, and it was completely wrong, the sheriff says, kill him. It's completely right. The sheriff says, if you kill this guy, you will be in the right. I'm telling you to kill him. This is the sheriff. Why is this guy any different than this guy? Why is this guy right here any better of a human being, any more righteous, any more right, any more compassionate, any more empathetic, any more a productive member of his community? Why is he, when he is as bloodthirsty, as much of a wild animal, and will kill you in 1 second as this guy will? Here he is being captured. Right here, the guy got captured. And of course, when he got captured, they had to let a dog loose on him. During his surrender, a canine was unleashed after McDowell failed to fully cooperate with orders given to him by SWAT team members. He suffered bites to one arm. So they wanted to kill this guy. You can guarantee that every one of these cops, all these cops standing around this guy, wanted to kill him. Guarantee every single cop here wanted to kill this guy. They all wanted to kill him. See all these guys saying they couldn't wait to kill this guy. Could not wait to kill this guy. Every single guy in this picture would have loved to kill this guy. The sheriff even says so. I wish he would have given us the opportunity to shoot him. That's what this guy says. But he's a wild animal. He's a wild animal. But not Sheriff Bill Leeper. No, he even though he says, blow the guy away. Go ahead, people. Blow him away. He's a rabid animal. Kill him. Oh, I wish he'd given us an opportunity to shoot him. He's going to pay for what he did, but he's a good guy. How is that possible? How is that possible? It's possible because he's in a cult. He is a cult member, and he believes that he's doing the right thing. He believes that he is upholding some sort of idea of righteousness that's given to him by his fellow cult members. That's all he cares about. All he cares about is what his fellow cult members are doing. These guys. He only cares about what his fellow, he doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about anybody but himself and what his fellow cult members think is right or wrong. And his fellow cult members are in a cult called the Black Death Cult. And they are in control of all the violence on the planet. They rule the planet through violence and death. That's it. So this guy right here will kill you and not get in any sort of trouble. But if you kill one of them, you will be turned into a hunted animal. And every one of your rights can be taken away. You can be killed. You can be stomped on. You can be shot. Anything. But if he kills you, it's fine. Let me see if I can find this story here. Here, this guy right here shot a would-be mass shooter. So there's a guy named Ronald who killed a police officer. and was going to go kill other people. But this guy pulled out a gun and shot him. And then guess what happened to him? He got killed by a cop. And guess what's going to happen to the cop? Nothing. Zero. So if you kill a cop, you're hunted down like an animal. They will stop at nothing to get you. They'll incarcerate your friends, whatever they need to do to get you. But if a cop kills you, nothing happens. Because once again, you're not in the cult. You're not sanctioned by the cult. Look at this. This is what I call Voy Xu. Voy Xu is any line, dot, or symbol made by man. Look at all these little lines and symbols he's got all over him. See, he's believes somehow that these represent something, which they do. They do represent something. They're symbols. And the Black Death cult created symbols, and they specifically created these symbols. And he proudly wears them because he's in the cult. This guy right here is not in the cult. Notice on his shirt, he's not wearing any symbols. On his hat, he may have a commercial idea of a symbol, but that's not given to him by the Black Death cult. These were given to him by the Black Death cult right here, these symbols. You can buy symbolism. Symbolism can be turned into a commercial product, and that still is what I call Voy Xu. It's any line, dot, or color made by man. But these are symbols of the Black Death cult right here. All of them. And guess what he said? He said, we wish we could have killed the guy. We wish we could have killed him. I wish he would have given us the opportunity to shoot him. I wish we could have killed him. And he's supposed to be a good guy? He's supposed to be a good guy? And then this kid's dad writes, after Patrick returned from Iraq, so this kid went to Iraq to fight for his country. After Patrick returned from Iraq, he enrolled and sought help from the VA for depression, headaches, and nightmares. He was diagnosed with PTSD and depression and some physical infirmities. As time progressed, he slipped into a darker place. He had trouble with seizures, pain management, and sleep patterns. So who knows why he ended up shooting at the deputy? We don't know what the deputy said. A lot of times these guys won't release the body cam footage, or they'll turn their microphone off, or it just miraculously won't record at that time. Well, we don't have a recording for it. It didn't work. Right here, police have video of the guy killing the hero here, the guy who shot the mass shooter, but they won't release it. So yeah, we have the body cam footage, but you don't get to see it. And like I said, guess what's going to happen to this cop who shot this guy? Nothing. But if you kill somebody, this guy right here realized his cellmate raped his sister, so he killed him, and guess what happens to him? He gets 25 years. So most people would agree, hey, look, raping somebody's sister is probably not good. And the guy, if you had a sister and somebody raped it, you might think, well, he killed him. Yeah, well, but look what happens to him. He gets 25 years in prison. He gets 25 years in prison. Why? Because he wasn't in the Black Death cult. This guy right here can kill this guy, no problem. Cop in I think it was Colorado, Arvada, Colorado, can kill this guy, no problem. Can kill him, no problem. They can kill Eric Garner, no problem. What was the kid's name? Tamir Rice. They can kill him, no problem. They can kill all kinds of people, no problem. No problem. But if you kill somebody else, or if you kill them, you're going to have a problem, because you're not sanctioned by the Black Death cult. See, this guy's sanctioned by the Black Death cult. He's in the cult. He's in the cult. Every now and then, they will put up a guy for prosecution as an example, like they did with the Chauvin guy. Every now and then, one out of every 5,000 killings, they'll put up one guy and say, well, he got put on desk leave, or, he got kicked out of the department. Then of course he goes and gets another job in another state, but we stopped him from working here and this and that. So once every now and then, like I said, about one out of probably 5,000, you'll have somebody get prosecuted or get in trouble, like the Chauvin guy. But that's rare, and I mean rare, rarer than a rare Pokemon card. Okay, this guy is sanctioned to kill, and he will kill you. He doesn't care. He doesn't care if you have PTSD. He doesn't care if you were a former soldier. He doesn't care if you're having mental problems. He doesn't care what happened to you. He does not care what happened to you. He wants to kill you. See, of course, this guy right here gets a big memorial, gets a, because he's in the cult. This guy's not in the cult anymore. He was when he was a Marine in Iraq. He was in the cult. But look what happens to their own cult members. They turn their back on their own cult members when they're no longer in the cult. It's like when you go out and you go out of the cult and you refuse to speak for the cult or act with the cult, you're punished. Like Scientology, when you get kicked out or when you leave, you're all of a sudden, I can't remember what they call you, a squirrel, or I can't remember what they call you, something. You're no longer in the cult. What's that guy's name? He's a lieutenant colonel that spoke out against the Marines. I don't like the cult. I don't want to be in the cult. And what they do, they locked him up. But as long as you're in the cult, the Black Death cult, and you're doing what the Black Death cult wants you to do, notice the color of his uniform, dark blue/black. This one looks black to me. And he's got all his Voy Xu on that gives him some, that's been given to him by the Black Death cult. So he believes that he's doing the right thing. He believes he's doing the right thing. Just like this cop who shot this kid believed he was doing the right thing. Just like this guy thought he was doing the right thing. But what's the difference between him and the cop who shot this kid? The cop who shot this kid ain't spending 25 years in jail because he's in the Black Death cult. He's he takes an oath to the Black Death cult, and he operates as a Black Death cult member, and he can kill whoever he wants to. He can kill whoever he wants to. And he's got everybody on his side. He's got the prosecutor. He's got the state's attorney. He's got federal attorneys. He's got the U.S. attorney. He's got every judge on his side. Whereas this guy right here, because he's not in the Black Death cult, he's got the prosecutor against him. He's got the arresting officers against him. He's got the judge against him. And what happens to him? He's going to spend 25 years in prison, killing a guy who raped his sister. So was this guy wrong? Was the guy who killed him wrong? This guy stops a mass shooter. This guy saved who knows how many lives. And he gets shot. Do you think that's wrong? Most people would probably agree, hey, man, you shouldn't kill somebody who just saved a whole bunch of lives and stopped a mass shooting. Not to mention the guy who he shot killed an officer. So, yeah, I think it may be wrong to shoot him, but guess what's going to happen? Nothing. It's not considered wrong because the guy who shot him is in the Black Death cult. And it's a very small group of people that are ruling the world through violence and death. And the cops are an arm of their operation. It's great because the higher up members don't have to kill anybody. What's his name? Papa Doc Duvalier, the guy who ruled. I think it was Haiti. Never had to kill anybody himself. Just had his troops do it. George Bush. George Bush never had to kill anybody. Just had his troops go over to Iraq and wipe out 800,000 Iraqis. Clinton never had to kill anybody himself. Nixon never. No presidents had to kill anybody himself. He has a group of people that will do it for him. That's how they're all part of the cult. They're all in the cult. So when you think about what's right and what's wrong in this world, and why some deaths are justified and why some are not, why some people can kill with impunity and some people cannot, why some people can be attacked, tased, beaten, shot, and killed, and some people cannot, it's because of one thing, and it's called the Black Death Cult. They exist and they are in control of everything.